Um, Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our April Transition Community Resource Forum. I'm excited to have with us uh, Craven Community College representatives tonight, and we have yay, we have Miss Sandy Bayless Carr, who is over the Transitions Academy program, amongst many other things. And then we have Miss Catherine Decker, who is over many things, but tonight she will be sharing with us about the disability of services that are available and how you access and the differences between what you can receive now in high school versus when you get out into the community college setting. And so I will not take any more time other than to introduce our other participants that are with us this evening, which is I'm going just by the order I see you on the screen. So we have Heather Hingley, who is EC specialist, who covers the resource, which is the Occupational Course of Study program, and many other hats she wears. And then we have Ms. Terrace Lavelle from Vocational Rehabilitation.
Did I take it from her?
And so I will not prolong us any longer. We're going to let Miss Sandy Bayless Carr begin with her presentation. And so it's all on you, Miss Sandy.
Okay. Hi, I am the Director of College and Career Readiness at Craven Community College. And in our program area, we have the Transitions Academy. And this is something that was created about 7, 8 years ago. I'm not real sure, but it seems like it's been forever, doesn't it, Rita?
It's been
Rita
a while.
was with us when we first designed this. She's been there from the beginning. But this program is we tried to create it with the occupational course of study students in mind at all the high schools, because we wanted to have a program here at the college that could kind of maybe give them a little bit stronger skills and better prepare them for college or the work experience, and also give them that opportunity of being on a college campus and interacting with other college students. And so this is a 2-year program that is free. We do not have tuition, and so that's a big plus. We also provide most of the materials that the students use, all the books. The only things that we ask the parents to help with is at the beginning of the school year, we ask them to buy flash drive, obviously pens and pencils, a notebook, dividers, and that's really about it. Everything else during the 2 years we provide. Um, anyway, this is a 2-year program that continues with increasing math, reading, writing, technology, lots of different skills, soft skills, but also in the context of different employment. And different careers. And that could be we have a greenhouse. We teach them how to use different tools. We don't do a complete construction program, but they do build small things so that they're aware of how, to use tools safely. And we incorporate math with that. So they learn more about fractions and measuring and things like that. We are housed in Purdue Hall, which is our health programs building, and we have a great partnership with the dean and all the instructors in that program. They have the nursing program, the PT assistant program, the farm tech program, all of those. They often, we have like a mutual instructional relationship with them. They use our students and we use their students in different things. They teach our students how to take blood pressure and temperatures and about safe usage with medicines and what's over the counter and what's prescription. And they even taught them in the farm tech program how to I guess I don't want to say give out pills, but they weren't real. But kind of set them up and show them what it would be like if you worked in that field. We've had our paramedics guy here teach them CPR when they do the child care portion of our program. Um, so we tried to partner with several different programs on campus so they can get exposed to different areas. A lot of them want to do welding or auto mechanic, or a lot are interested in computers and art, big interest in art. We try to incorporate in our own class itself a lot of things using art. um, they might be doing an art journal to process feelings and emotions and things, but uh, that plays a big part in a lot of what they do because of that strong interest with art. Lots and lots of computer. They earn digital literacy badges and certificates with an on what is it, North Star. It's a program that the community college system paid for, and it is something that we use in all of our GED classes, and for anybody really out in the community and that we give digital literacy classes for, which are a lot of people, they can earn these badges and certificates, and some jobs recognize those because it shows what levels of IT, the digital literacy that they're able to do. Um, so there's lots of pieces that are ongoing throughout the whole 2 years. They participate with student services in the SGA program here. They do a lot of activities with them. As a matter of fact, we have an ice cream cart where they're going to be going around selling ice cream during one of the SGA events in May. That teaches them entrepreneurship and money and inventory. And they did a survey on interest of what ice cream flavors and snacks that they wanted to see in the cart. So that's been the semester process, the entrepreneurship. They learned about coding, not medical coding, coding in IT. I'm not exactly sure anything about it, but I know that's one of the things that they learned, which I thought was pretty neat. They learn about government and voting, and a couple years ago, we didn't do it this past year, but right before COVID, we took them, and for those that were interested and obviously got permission if they needed permission, they went and registered to vote for the first time, and they chose based upon research which candidate they were interested in picking. So we do lots of different things, life skills, obviously, and learning about the different careers while also increasing their reading, writing, math, IT skills, all of that. We have had students come in our program that are from curriculum that maybe started out in the college credit side and realized they really weren't ready to go to that side of the college. So the advisors here have referred them to our program. They've worked on some study skills, they've worked on their math, reading, etc., and they have gone back to curriculum. We've had some come straight from the high schools, the OCS programs, do this for 2 years, and they're now in curriculum. So it's a variety of things that we see, but it is a real strong program, and it's something that we're really proud of. I can show you, this is just the brochure that we give them, for anybody that's interested. And you can see here, this is them when they've gone over to the nursing program, and they're showing them this is one of the um I don't, what would you call it, not a dummy. I don't know what you'd call it. It's a computerized patient, in other words, and it breathes, it moans, it does everything like a real patient. And so the nursing students were kind of showing them. Our students are obviously in the back, but they were showing them, what they do over there in the nursing field. And they're really interested in that. And they are so good to our students. And anytime anything goes on, they're right there. So I think that makes the parents feel really good that they're in the right building. But and here you can see this is when we first started the greenhouse, and I'll show you a few minutes. That's the very beginning of it. But that's been about 3 years, so it's a lot. We have a lot more in it now. Um, and as you can see here, the classes are offered Monday through Thursday, 9 to 3. They have a 30-minute lunch. They are on their own 100%, just like any college student here. They navigate the campus on their own. They are treated just like any other student. They get a student ID. They can utilize the library and other services just like all the students. And it's really neat because all of them go to our the foundation ball, or what is that, what would they call it, the Founders Day ball. I don't know why I said foundation, the Founders Day ball, and they love it. It's almost like they treat it like a second prom. It's really neat. So again, they are well known on campus. All of the faculty, well, I'll say most of the staff know who they are. Some of the faculty that they're in the buildings, but they know them, and they have a great relationship with them, so they feel very welcomed here. Let's see. The next thing I want to show you are some of the pictures. This was obviously, some of these pictures were taken right after COVID. They came right back. Most people wanted to stay home. Oh no, they wanted to come back, which was fine. They were the first of our students that we let back. They were actually here before curriculum students were back. But anyway, here they are. They have, because at this time we did not have a kitchen. Now the college has one at the vault that we'll be able to utilize. But before that, we had to kind of set up our own little thing in the classroom. So we had, a sink, a portable sink, and they did some cooking in the classroom with burners and stuff like that. But the kitchen at the vault center, if none of you've heard of it before, it's like a trade center that the college has now, and it's across from Lawson Creek Park, and very nice building, and they have a real nice restaurant equipped kitchen that we're going to be using to do some things in. And one of the things we do want to do in the fall is to start making dog, cat, horse, different treats and packaging those to, and we can't say sell, we say donate. If people would donate funds toward purchase, I don't see, we can't say purchasing, but you get the gist. Suggested donations. But anyway, we just want to get them in the process of learning different things that they might want to do on their own one day and have their own business, because you see a lot of that now. Okay, so here she's cleaning her hands. We do have a food safety program that we do as part of it, and they learn all about the germs and uh, safety with knives. They learn how to cut and chop and all that good stuff. But definitely learn about all the germs and things with dealing with food. This is, once they got the greenhouse going, they know how to, Miss Laughing House taught them well. They know exactly what they have to do in that greenhouse. And that's really a lot of their, that's probably their favorite thing to do, is go work in the greenhouse. And they're actually going to have a sale in a few weeks. So, nope, not a sale, a donations, a donations only event, liquidation sale. Oh, yeah, okay. But anyway, here they go. They know exactly what to do. This was obviously during the holidays. As you see, they have on their little Christmas hats. But these are just some pictures. They have their chores and they know exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And here's a student here. I'm not sure if he's repotting something or what. There's Tutu. Do you remember Tutu, Rita?
Yes.
Yeah, from last year. I think that's so cool. Here okay, there he is. Working in the, it looks like he's getting ready to do some planting. Here's a few more. There's a lot of them in the greenhouse. And
Okay.
here's
Got it.
one where she taught them how to drill and things like that. So that's what they're doing here, drilling holes. I think they were doing a compost. I don't know anything about all that, but I think that's what she said they were doing with this. But that I think right now they're building some planters, some wooden planters for our little plant donation event. And here they are again. And they are really every year, it amazes me. These kids come from all different schools, high schools. Some have moved in the area, or some finished high school somewhere else, and close by, like Jones County or Carteret. We've had several from Pamlico that are coming out of this program because they see what they're doing. And it amazes me to see how close they all end up. Right away, it's like they just they do everything together, and I think that's really neat. Um, they do presentations, and here I think they're doing well. It looks to me like they're shredding something, but I know you can see the skeleton in the background, and they have a like a mannequin skeleton or whatever you call it, and they learn about anatomy and body parts and that sort of thing as well. And here they are. They do a lot of work on laptops. And I think here they were, looks like a scan where they can scan something. And I think they were going around campus and putting those up to people could scan and vote on which ice cream flavor, Nutty Buddy, whatever it was they were interested in seeing. So I think that's what they were doing there. But like I said, we have a whole lot more of things that they do. We have the computerized babies that they are responsible for and learn about the care of an infant in case they were interested in working in childcare or to continue on here in our program. We've had a student do that as well at the college's childcare program. So let me show you this next thing I'm going to show is just a few of the students that talked about why they enjoyed the program and what they felt was the most positive thing about it to them. And some of them you can barely hear, so please bear with me. Okay. How's that not working? Can you hear it? How's that not working? Uh,
We may just have to provide a link to that part of it
I'll
before
do
you.
that. I'll do that because you can barely hear it. I
Thank
don't
you.
know why, but people really need to listen to this. We showed it to our board of trustees, and to hear these kids and what they say about it and how they feel, it's really a good thing. So yeah, I'll do that. I will share that link so I can stop that now. One last thing that I do want to say is the students we typically accept obviously are OC prep students. We have in the past accepted some that are in the adaptive program, but they were higher functioning or socially they were able to handle the atmosphere and doing presentations, obviously with a little help, but they really need to be able to do the academic work because we don't want them to get in and get overwhelmed because that has happened. And but yet we don't want it to be too restrictive. So anyway, they do presentations and PowerPoints and go around campus and talk to different staff, regarding, what they'd like to see at different events that we hold. Um, those are just some of the things. And this girl here that I've got on the screen, Ashley, she is one of several that have gone through the program and have really wanted to continue. So I created a way they could do that for a while. I told them as long as we had room, they could do it. And we have two programs now that we offer. Rita, I'm not sure if you knew that,
Okay.
but they are mentors. So they help the students that are coming in new, and they love it. They feel like they are helping and making a difference. They help the faculty and staff here on campus make copies and do different things. And now the sad part is none of them want to leave. Out of the 11 that are graduating in May, I bet you about 8 of them want to come back. But that's okay because obviously there's not a whole lot of seniors this year in the Craven County schools. So
Right.
we're fine with that right now. So anyway, if anybody has any questions, I would love to help them. Again, this is something that I've only heard positive things from parents that the kids have been enrolled, and I'm very proud of what we do. And I would be glad to show anybody the program that would like to come out, any family. I'd like to meet with them, give them a tour of the campus, and let them sit in the classroom and see what they do. And a lot of times the kids might be nervous about it and the parents, but when they get in that classroom and they see people that they know, they get excited and are ready to come. So, anyway, that is what the Transitions Academy is about.
I love it. I always have. I always have. I have a question, and you
Yes,
you
ma'am.
pretty much I think you've answered it, but I'm going to ask it for clarity. So we have a young lady who would probably be not ready. She's not ready to graduate yet, but just looking towards her future. She is fascinated with nail technician type things.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
when they come, if she was a candidate and she got into Transitions Academy,
Mm-hmm.
could she at the same time be enrolled in the nail tech program, or after completing the 2-year program be
Absolutely.
set up
Well,
to be able to transition into that?
yes, here's the thing. Um, Absolutely, they could register or speak with someone in that program area to do that. Right now, we do not have a nail man, believe it or not, a manicurist program. We have obviously cosmetology. And I think what I have seen, because we did have one of our higher functioning students go into that, she did great on the academic piece, but when it came to the actual working on patients, Lord, um, clients,
Mhm.
that was a little difficult for her. And she didn't end up completing, but she aced all the academic piece. So sometimes it's about finding the right fit for a student, and that wasn't for her. So we ended up, she's gone to another route, and now she's working at Walgreens. So she has been taking classes at the college for a while. She took some college level courses and did well.
Sandy,
So,
can I ask you, like you said she aced the academics. And
mhm,
so what was it about the interaction with clients that was a barrier for her?
I think because she gets really overstimulated and excited, and I think it was hard for her to keep up the pace with some of the stuff, and she would get frustrated. And I think a lot of it seemed to me there was an issue with her braiding hair. And I don't know if she wasn't fast enough or she got frustrated, but it seemed like when it came to the hands-on part, she had more difficult time.
Okay, and I ask that because when we know that those things occur, there's something, while we still have them in high school, those can be some things that we kind of work with them on and put them in those situations where they have to practice it before they actually have to perform it as a,
Right.
skill. So that's the only reason I asked. Thank you.
Yeah, and I can tell you now, we have ordered so many, I hate to say games, but they're games and books and different things for them to work on skills like that. Um, so I'm hoping, being able to express themselves or to be able to handle a situation without getting overwhelmed, giving them ways to better handle that. I think, that helps as well. So
Okay.
we've got great teachers doing that.
All right. Anybody else have any questions for Miss Sandy, or can think of anything that we can share with the student a question that you think they might have for Sandy. I think
I
she pretty much covered.
I think that
I
Sandy
always
did.
talk too long, so I've tried to do
No,
better
it,
with it.
it was great. It was great because we got the real picture. We got the
Abs-
real picture. So thank you.
Absolutely. And I
That was
really
great.
appreciate it because it may be the second time I've heard a presentation on the Transitions Academy, but it really has sparked even more interest. And as I go out into the schools, I'm going to be sharing with a lot more of these kids about what it is they can do once they get finished with high school with the OCS.
Yeah, and I can tell you, of course, there's a lot of students that go right into college classes. I don't want to see the ones that maybe are not quite ready struggle and just give up. And then they're left with nothing. That's what I don't want to see. Because
Yeah.
what you would not believe, and this young lady's one of them, and I've had several that come in here that are so insecure, will not look at you, will not speak, that they have come out of their shell. And it is amazing to see, but they feel that confidence that they maybe didn't have before. And they're with people that on this campus everybody interacts with them, everybody. I don't care if it's the people working in the cafe or the security people. They are just treated just like an adult, and we tell them, y'all are adults, don't come tattletelling on this one and that one. We're not doing all that. This is not middle school. And I think eventually they appreciate that. So anyway, I'd be glad to talk, like I said, to any of them anytime. And Heather, if you were out on the far end of Havelock and know some from Carteret, bring them on, please. And we just started being able to give out carts passes with our funding. So I don't announce that really, but if we have a student that is having a difficult time getting here, we can probably pay for some of their transportation. I don't want to say we'll do it all year, every day, but it might be something that if they're having difficulty doing it every day, maybe a day or two a week, we could do it. So,
That's
And that
that
is helpful for our Havelock students
yes,
because
yes, that's
transportation is an
absolutely. And
option.
one day if we get enough interest down in Havelock, we may start one back down there again.
How
But
many do
everything
you
is
need?
here.
How many do you need?
10.
If you'll get at least 10, we can have this opportunity in Havelock.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. The only reason I like it here, although I think they'd be just fine down there because there's a lot going on down there with their SGA and stuff. I just think sometimes here there's a lot going on that they're interested in, like the
right.
auto mechanic and the welding and different things like that.
I think that the campus in New Bern is bigger, so it provides them more of a true college experience.
Absolutely. And they got the cafe. My God, they're in there every day because they're sitting there with other college students here and the early college kids. So, yeah.
Miss
Thank you
Terrace,
all
did
for
you have
having
any?
me.
Let's see if Miss Terrace Lavelle had anything she wanted to add.
Um, hold on. Well, I just wanted to say that I've seen you're exactly right about sometimes you see students that you may have a disability or whatnot, not feel as confident, but sometimes you can show them what to do or teach them what to do, and they can do the skill very well. So everybody's not college material. So I'm so glad
Absolutely.
for, yeah, this program that you have. It helps a whole lot.
Well, like I said, I think they would rather be here than a lot of, I mean, they really do. And some
Mhm.
of them, I don't know. Like we sometimes have a program in the summer, and some Miss Sandy, are we having a summer thing this year? Some of them are going to Easter Seals because they can go to the beach and they can go bowling, but that's not what we're about. So I'm like, if you're going to Easter Seals in the summer, okay, but that's not what we're going to do here. So I
Yes,
wish I
yes.
could take him to the beach. I'd love to do that.
Yes, we had well, when I was a business representative a few years ago for VR, I was working with a young man, and actually, make a long story short, he had a disability where he couldn't hear as well, but and his mom just really wanted him to work, and I finally was able to connect him with Walmart, and he was one of the best workers.
He is
I
not the
had
one that passed away, is he?
no,
Do y'all
yeah.
remember that boy? There was somebody at Walmart that seemed like he had a
Mhm.
disability. I can see him right now, always sat in the back near the plant station.
Okay, yeah, this is a different one. Yeah,
Hmm.
this young man, he was real active in as far as the produce, and just and how I would come in, I would come in as a customer and be on another aisle, and I would see him helping the customers. Of course, he could read lips very well, and he would know exactly where to show them, what was needed. And I had talked to the manager one day just for a follow-up, and they told me that he was one of the best workers they had. They were like, I wish our other workers would follow after him.
Yeah, I hear that about this population and the ESL students.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
shame because these American kids, most of them don't want to do anything. Not these, not this
Yeah,
particular group,
yes,
but
yes. Mhm.
and mine included. They're just as rotten. But anyway, I'm talking about my personal kids.
But
But
Miss
anyway,
Sandy, we really, really appreciate
Yeah.
you taking the time
you're
to share
welcome.
about the program, and we want to continue our relationship. And so on our end, we're promoting in the
Okay.
school,
Yes.
and so we will try to get as many people informed, and we will continue to link and partner with you so that your program can continue, and then the kids leaving us have somewhere to go where they can continue their
Right,
learning.
right.
Mhm.
All
And
right. Well, thank you
so
so much.
you are so welcome. And now we have a Miss Decker who I always enjoy hearing about the disability services anywhere. And so I think I have spoken in the past with someone at the community college, and it's just good to hear, and it's very good for our parents and students to hear things are different in the community college setting. You don't get the same things automatically that you get in the school system. And so for us to have a connection with you so that we can help them to understand those differences and possibly what things would be made available to them so they know going in about that. And so you had sent me a message about sharing your screen, and you absolutely can do so.
Okay, I will now. Thank you.
Okay.
And thank you for having me on tonight.
We appreciate you. And I did say that Ms. Decker is the disability services, but her title is bigger than that. That's what she's going to talk to us about, but her title is bigger than that. And I leave anything else that she wants to share to her.
Certainly. Certainly. Thank you so much. And I'm going to turn my camera off just while I'm walking through this PowerPoint. Can everybody see everything on here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for having me. I am Catherine Decker, the ADA coordinator and also the director of the Academic Support Center at Craven Community College. Rita, I appreciate you having me on tonight. I think it's very important to raise awareness about disability services in a college setting versus a high school setting to help everybody. And now I'll walk through some of the disability laws really quickly, but also share students' rights and responsibilities. And then the accommodation process at Craven Community College, discuss some reasonable accommodations, and then also the differences between high school and college accommodations.
Right.
So just to introduce the disability services team, it has changed with myself coming in new in December as the ADA coordinator. And Diane Meadows, she is the administrative assistant for disability services. And Michelle Pierce is on the Havelock campus. She is the ADA liaison, and she's also the manager of the academic support center there. So we have an academic support center on the New Bern campus and the Havelock campus, which is great. So just to clarify, what is the ADA coordinator? What is the role? What do they do? So for me, I have to understand the disability laws and the school's obligations. I need knowledge of the common accommodations. I work on behalf of the college, the students, the faculty, and the staff. I'm an advocate for all of them. And I need to problem solve for uncommon accommodations and try to work out modifications or alternative accommodations for those. And I'm not going to go really deep into the laws because I feel like that's some research that we can all do on our own, but I did just want to point them out. It is the college's policy to comply with disability laws by providing reasonable modifications in its rules, policies, and practices by removing architectural, communication, and transportation barriers. So my title is ADA, and that stands for Americans with Disabilities Act. I just want to point out ADA does define disability as a mental or physical impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities. ADA does prohibit discrimination based on a disability, and this extends to other sectors besides education and college settings, also to transportation and employment. So the Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act, this applies directly to educational institutes such as Craven Community College, and it is a national law that protects qualified individuals from discrimination based on their disability. I do want to point out that reasonable accommodations must be set in a college setting so that they do not create a fundamental alteration to a course or a program. So students' rights and responsibilities. Students' rights, they have equal access to programs, services, jobs, and activities offered by the college, and equal opportunity to learn, work, confidentiality of information regarding their disability is very important and is a must in college settings. Instructors will only know what the accommodations are for a student. They will never know the medical diagnosis unless the student self-discloses this to an instructor or staff. We do have ADA release forms that can be filled out. These can list guardians so we can share important information with parents or with other guardians that they may list. The responsibilities of the college they do differ from high school because students are their self-advocate for themselves, and students must meet qualifications and maintain essential institutional standards for the programs, courses, services, and activities. And students must provide disability documentation. So just kind of to walk through the Craven's ADA process, students make a request for accommodations to the ADA coordinator. This is made by a request form, and I'm going to show that on the next slide. They do have to provide documentation, so I want to have the initial intake form documentation before I meet with the student. I want to know their background. I don't want to go into this blind. I don't want to make any assumptions. I want to have all that up front. Once I have all this, then the student and I will meet and I will interview them, kind of asking some different questions, and also observation and taking notes on this. After this meeting, accommodations are awarded. And then accommodation forms are sent out to faculty through our Accommodate program. If they are in college career and readiness program, then I have a paper form that we will fill out and provide to their instructors in that program. I like this because accommodations are provided immediately to the student. They know that they're taken care of. They know what they're going to be awarded. They're in place, ready to go. With college, it is a little bit different from high school because students must request their semester accommodations with each new semester. And this is done by replying to an email that the ADA coordinator sends out to them, or they can call our office, or they can actually log into our Accommodate system. We have instructions that we give out to each student about that. They can log in and complete their semester request, and it's about 4 clicks. It is pretty easy, but I tell students if they have issues with this, just to reply to my email simply with yes, and it will take care of them for that semester. So this is our initial form, student request for accommodations. This is the PDF form, and then we also have a digital form that is available on our website, and I have the website listed down there. Students can do either one. They can fill it out and they can drop it by the office, or if they need to fax it, they can. Whatever is easiest for them. We try to make it easy for everybody. Next is our ADA disability verification form. This is available through Disability Services Office. We have this paper form that we can email to students or we can give them. This is a form that they can take to their doctor and or physician, or provide a psychological evaluation and have them fill out. We try to eliminate barriers in there. This form has exactly what we need to establish and provide accommodations. I do want to point out that documentation has 2 main purposes. It is to establish that an individual has a disability, and then also to describe and document the functional impact of the disability for use in establishing the need for and design of accommodations. I do want to point out that high school IEPs and 504s are not sufficient documentation for a college setting. So this is why Disability Services created this form, and it can be filled out by the student, which is the first page, and then the physician fills out the last 2 pages and signs it, and will typically put their medical stamp on it. We do like to have documentation and evaluations that are within the last 3 years. And if that is a barrier, I am open to meeting with students and looking at documentation if it's older than 3 years. So just to give a little bit of list for reasonable accommodations, these are just some of them that could be provided depending upon one's disability and limitations. I do want to point out that accommodations are made on an individual basis that have supporting documentation. Accommodations are not one size fits all. They should be assessed by the individual and should be assessed class by class for that individual. So just to name a few, extended time for testing, we do have extended time 150% or 200%. Testing in a distraction reduced noise room that could be in the testing center or within someone's home. We have smart pens, laptops, tablets that can be checked out to students, visual aids, handouts, concise oral instructions, a reading list in advance if that would help a student, preferred seating, maybe a student prefers to sit in the front or the back, We have voice recorders that we check out to students. We have noise cancellation headphones we check out. We have various computer software to enlarge print, but also other products. A note taker, if that's appropriate, interpreters, flexible attendance, PDF versions of textbooks, a reader scribe for students. We do have accommodations that allow food and drink in class. There are certain classrooms at Craven that they do not allow that in, so we can have accommodations written for that. And then also short breaks when testing, but they cannot leave the testing area. There are a few differences between high school and college accommodations for students with disabilities, and I would just like to highlight some of these. And I realize this is different for each individual. So just some of the laws. So for college, we have ADA versus IDEA, the Section 504, and just know ADA is about equal access, and creating a level playing field for all students versus high school where it's about ensuring success. The required documentation, I know we touched on this a little bit, so I just wanted to say again, the IEP and 504 are not sufficient documentation. That's why we've created that verification form. So if students need to meet with their physician or whomever, they can use that form, and that will provide us with exactly with what we need. When students transition over from high school to college, self-advocacy is one of the major components of this. They do need to self-identify to the Office of Disability Services. That is completing that student request for accommodation forms that I showed in the previous slide that we have in PDF format or electronic format. They are responsible for self-advocacy and arranging accommodations, which I help with. Professors are usually open and helpful, but most expect you to initiate contact if you need assistance with them or whoever that may be in the college. So the parental role in college is a little bit different. Parents do not have open access to student records. We do have a release form for ADA, so students can fill that out and list their guardians, and then we can have open conversations with them. They can attend meetings, everything like that. Instruction, it is different in college. One of the main differences is that professors or instructors are not required to modify their curriculum design. And be aware that outside of class time, students are expected to put aside time to read, study, communicate with instructors, do various things for their classes that they may need to. Grades and testing, those formats will differ with each instructor in college. Changing these formats are generally not available. However, it is on an individualized basis. I realize that. Accommodations on how to test are given can be put into place with supporting documentation. Some testing accommodations could include the extended time, the reader, a proctored testing in the testing center, a distraction reduced noise room. That could be in the testing center. It could also be in the library if the instructor is okay with that, or in the academic support center where I am on the New Bern campus or the Havelock campus. We have some students that use noise canceling headphones while in the testing center, and bathroom snack breaks while testing when needed. Those are just a few examples of those. So student responsibilities. Tutoring does not fall under disability services. It is not an accommodation. Tutoring is open in the academic support center to all curriculum students. College and career readiness does have tutoring available for their students as well, because those instructors know exactly what that content is and what they're most likely needing specific help with. And students are, they do have to manage their own time and complete assignments outside of class. I suggest that students spend at least 3 hours each week outside of the classroom for each class. That way it gives them enough time to read, to research, to do all of those things that they need to do to be successful. And I just want to show our accessible map. So here's the Havelock campus. As you can see, there are handicap accessible entrances here in each building. And then on the New Bern campus, we have a bigger campus on the New Bern campus there, and there are more handicap accessible entrances here. And then I just want to say thank you all for allowing me to speak with you this evening. I've put a QR code. Here's our link to the accessibility services, disability services on the Craven community website. It does provide more information. I will be happy to speak with anybody if they have questions or would like to meet or would like more information. I'm happy to do so. So thank you, Rita. I will stop sharing my screen now, and if anybody has any questions, I will be glad to answer those.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This was great. And I wish more students or families were on to hear, but they'll hear the recording if they request it. I had a couple of questions.
Okay, sorry, I got out of the screen.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. So one was the first one, your PowerPoint. Could you share that with me?
Certainly, I will send that to you.
Okay. The second thing is you talked about psychologicals. So they need to be within 3 years. So we try to find out, like when we find out what the student's vision is for the future, and if it is to do college, community college, and they have a psychological current in their high school records, is that sufficient?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And Rita, I'll also send you a copy of our ADA handbook, because there are a list of psychological evaluations and other documentation that is appropriate for this. And, you know, if something's not listed in this handbook, I'm willing to take a look at it with a student and see if it provides everything needed. It needs a medical diagnosis. It needs a recommendation for accommodations in a college setting. It needs a physician's signature and their stamp, everything like that.
Okay. Okay. And I think that I hear a lot of people say it, I'm glad you covered it, because they'll make the statement that all I need to do is take my IEP. And we try to share that no, the IEP is not the driving document that makes the decision. It might be used as a supporting piece,
Yes.
but not the ultimate documentation that would suffice you getting into the program. I mean, or getting the supports. Okay.
Certainly.
And so the accommodations, when they're requesting, have to be directly related to their disability. So it couldn't be somebody who says, you know, with taking notes, I'm telling you, I just can't keep up with the instructor, but it has nothing to do with their disability. That would not be an approved accommodation.
I do have the option to self-report, but I do rely on documentation because I am audited. Things are looked at. I want to make sure that everybody is on the same page and that I am not, you know, doing anything that I shouldn't be doing. If it comes down then that, and I have an observation and a self-report meeting with a student and I can clearly see those limitations, that is something I can write down. That might be for an older student or younger student transitioning from high school to college.
Okay. Those were the only questions, and one the comment was, it was good to see how you made the side-by-side comparisons, because when we're developing student IEPs or a system with that, they can see the importance, and one of the things that you need to include in activities that you engage in is self-advocacy, because when you
Mhm.
leave the high school, that's gonna be on you.
Yes.
And the time that your study skills and
Yes.
knowing scheduling and time management, that's going to
Yes.
be on you. So I
Yes.
that's why I would love to be able to have the PowerPoint so that can be shared, so they can see
Certainly.
those real
Certainly.
important points. So
Certainly.
that was all I had. I don't know whether Miss Hingley or Miss Lavelle had any questions.
And I have some other resources too, Rita, and I'll share all that with you tomorrow. I will make a note of that. I'll share all that
Okay.
with you tomorrow when I get in the office.
Okay. Thank you so much. Miss Hingley, did you have anything? You're muted if you do.
No, I didn't, and I apologize. My computer died on me, and
Oh, no.
that's why I was out of there for a second. But I just want to say I really appreciate it being laid out the way it was and being able to see the differences between the high school and college, what those accommodations are, and how the students really have to be advocates for themselves.
Mhm.
Miss Lavelle, did you have anything?
I just wanted to know, is this the first time they had that program there at the college? Or maybe I might have, I mean, is this the first time they had that position that you're in to help with that, or is that it's been there?
The ADA coordinator position has been at the college. Previously, it was under Jennifer Bumgardner. Um,
Okay.
yeah, she left in December and I took over this piece of it as well in December.
Okay.
But she was there for
A while.
'Wow,
8 years or more.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
wow.
I
Yeah,
did not
she
know that.
she
Okay, but
Miss Baumgartner would participate in our transition fairs. She would
Mhm.
set up a table at the transition fair, and
okay.
she helped me with my one of my classes with my master's program, because I needed to
Mm-hmm.
be able to report out. So she's been around for a while, and she's been
Long time.
in partnership with us, helping out with helping students understand. So I was
Okay.
so glad when I called the college and they said, "Shoot, no, Sandy Bumgarner no more. Who is it?" And I was so happy when you returned the call and said you would be glad to talk to us, because we again about relationships, because we
Yes,
don't know what we don't know, but we want to
yes,
be guiding our students and parents in the right direction. And so you have given
sure.
us great information to be able to share with them, and then
Certainly.
be able for them to know who they can connect with. So we possibly may be trying to do some field trips, whether it be virtual
Yes,
classroom visits where you're talking to the students. So we would love to stay in contact with you.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
please do. And if there's time you have other questions outside of this or need something or another community forum, please reach out. I'd be glad
Mm-hmm.
to help.
And I always tell everybody who tells me that, you're with us forever now.
Yes, yeah.
When we
All
have
right.
transition fairs and any other thing that we work closely with Voc Rehab, and so when we try to
Okay.
put things on, we those folks that have said I'm willing to help in any capacity, we keep you on the list and try to have you involved. And then the students see familiar faces, they know you, and so they
Yes,
may see you in a different setting, but they know when they go to the community college, oh, that's her, that's the
yeah,
disability service coordinator. So we
that's
have
right.
you now on our list
Thank
of
you.
partners.
Yes. So
Great.
nice to meet you, and thank you for the information. I recognize Ms. Bumgarner's name, but I was trying to put the face with the position as well. But so good to meet you too.
Oh, thank you so much. And I appreciate you all for having me. And I'll get that information to you tomorrow, Rita.
Okay, and I'll share it with the team, but thank you so
Mhm.
much. And I always try to keep my promise that we're on from 6 to 7, and it's 7:02. So we did really good
We did good.
with saying it, and got a great amount of information. Thank you for allowing me to record. I will be sharing this information, and we'll be in touch.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. You
Bye
all have a
bye.
good evening.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, I'm trying to find stop record. There we go.
Well, you're still recording.
I'm trying, I don't see where it's gonna allow me to pause it.
Okay.
It
Goodbye.
got it. Have a good evening.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Bye.